Have you ever tried to change a habit and you find yourself doing that habit again, or the habit keeps repeating itself? It's not because you lack confidence. It's not because you're lazy. It could be the way you are approaching the habits. It's the wrong way. And I'm here to tell you the reason why. Before we start, kindly subscribe and like and share this video. It helps us grow as a community together. Let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is ignoring the trigger. There is something that actually makes the habit happen, and that thing is called a trigger. Let's say you're stressed and you pick up your phone. The next thing is to get bored and start scrolling. So that is the mistake that we actually do. We sit down one day and we want to change a habit that has been growing for many years, a habit that we've been doing for so long. If you don't find where the trigger is coming from, there's nothing like solving it. If you find the source of that habit, you are going to solve it halfway, and it will be easy for you to figure out and start all over again. The thing is, there is no smoke without fire. Every habit that we're going through or we have has its own thing. Asking yourself, where is this trigger coming from? Ask yourself, how do I find what actually triggers the habit? So that is the question you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself these simple questions to make you get the answer for you to change that habit, and you are good to go. The next thing I want to talk about is trying to delete the routine. You don't have to wake up one day, I have quit this behavior. I'm never going to drink anymore. I'm never going to eat junk food anymore. How is that possible? That is the mistake we do. We don't just wake up one day to say, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to do that anymore. What you have to do, the brain is in such a way that when you delete anything or you clear any bad habit of yours, you have to replace it. So the fix is you have to delete and you have to replace. Let's say you snack after 8 p.m. every day and you want to stop. You have to replace it by maybe drinking some water at that time, or you can even try to go to sleep, or you can even try to read a book. So you don't just delete that bad habit. You don't want to be snacking at after 8 p.m. and you just sit down. No, you will surely go back to that same habit of yours. If the brain feels empty, it will automatically go back to get the old habit and replace it with the empty space. So the brain needs to be replaced with the empty bad habits that you've already deleted. So that is how we do it. Delete and replace. By so doing, the brain will get the continuity and everything will move smoothly for you. You can't just wake up one day to just delete it and leave it. So the fix is delete and replace. So the next point, which is the third point I want to talk about, is starting too big. You sit down one time and say, oh, as for today, from now onwards, I'm not doing this again. I'm not keeping this habit again. No, that's not how we do it. You don't sit down to say, oh, every day from now, I'll be doing 1 hour workout. I'll go to the gym. I will start something really big for me to just get out of this behavior. That is not how it's done. If you start too big, you get stuck. And getting stuck, the trigger will start again and the behavior will come back. So what you have to do is to start small. Small things are easy to maintain and repeat. Bigger things are not easy to maintain. So let's do the 5 minutes rule. Let's say you snack after 8 p.m. all the time and you want to stop. You can't just stop one time. You have to start little by little. Sometimes you feel like going back to the cravings, but because you've set a certain 5 minute rule for yourself and you start from there, that is when the brain will be active to continue from that repetition that you started, that journey you started to take out the bad habit. So that is what you have to be doing. You don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'll wake up 5 a.m. every day so I can get to work on time. That is not how we do it. You have to start small and you get to where you want to get to. The last point I want to add to it is fighting your environment. Why do we have to fight the environment? That is the mistake that we do all the time. Our environment got the power over our willpower. We human beings, we've got our willpower to do spirit. But it gets to a time that we've got this bad habit and we want to grow out of it, but it never works that way. What happens is our environment is still loaded with the bad food that we want to get rid of. When we walk to our kitchen, when we walk to our living room, all we see is the junk food, all we see is the carbohydrate, all we see is the alcohol that we want to stop drinking. Instead of fighting your environment, fix it. Change your environment. Make healthy snacks available in your kitchen. Get to your kitchen, clear your cupboards, and make that cupboard feel fresh. Bring out the stuffs that will make you change that habit quickly. Bring that to your environment. That is the change of your environment that will make you stop that habit. Why is it that you want to stop drinking but keeps going to the bar all the time? Because you want to escort a friend, and when you go there, you will surely have to try something, and that will trigger that habit again, and that trigger comes in now. You start drinking. Oh, today I'm just going for one shot, and before you realize, you're back to square one. So your environment really matters. It's even heavier and dangerous than even trying to set a goal, if you get what I mean. So your environment has the overall power over your willpower, your to-do spirit. So what you have to do is to fix your environment. If you want to change, or you want to change every habit of yours, every bad habit of yours, don't ignore the trigger. Don't delete without replacing. Don't start big, start small, and try to change your environment. Thank you for joining me to learn on the Sly Sphere. If this video is really helpful, please kindly like and subscribe to the channel so we can grow together as a community. See you in my next video.